Hi, my name is Maurice, and my topic I chose to research today was why was the 1964 Summer Olympics significant to Tokyo, Japan? And in this presentation, I will be discussing the positive impact of the 1964 Summer Olympics brought to the country, how it affected the people, and how the perception of the country changed. Also, how it brought back the pride to the country and some technological advances in the future of Japan in the future Olympics. So, what is the 1964 Summer Olympics? It's not actually in the summer. It actually happened it started October 10th to October 24th. And it was the first time the games were ever held in an Asian country. And also, it was the first telecast international without a need to fly tapes overseas and stuff. That was a really big thing. And the person who held actually the fire to the Olympic fire. This person, he was born August 6th, 1945, and that was the day the atomic bomb actually exploded in Hiroshima, and that they wanted to pay a really good homage to the victims, and this was also a really big peace call for the world. And there were 5,152 athletes, 93 countries, and 163 events. And then this was the first time they really harped on this. Was really big. That this was the first appearance of a team sport where you have women. And then another thing I wanted to talk about was the positive impact that the Summer Olympics had on the country. This sporting event helps a lot of people forget their troubles, and it is used as a rally point for Japan, and it brings back a lot of passion and love for the sport. And we have a lot of passion and love. Basically, it boils over reality. It gives a lot of happiness to whomever. And the impact that it gave on the country was it really elevated the people who played it. So a lot of the athletes, they were held to a higher standard and pedestal. So it gave a lot of those players higher value, basically. And the more wins that the country get, the higher people wanted. A lot of people want to be a part of that, and it brought back a lot of pride to it. And this great sporting event basically held up, and it made a really good effect on Japan. And now Japan will pretty sure hold the 2020 games. Another thing I wanted to talk about was how it affected the people. So basically, in the previous slide I said it was a really big rallying point for Japan. It really was about against adversity. The country of Japan brought back this idea, basically reinvented themselves. And it was a really big turning point for Japan. It was previous before, 14 years ago, you had the war going on, and now since the war, now it's time for the games. Japan basically wanted to tell everyone that we're not the same. We're not who we were. Now we're a lot better. And basically, Japan, they won 16 gold medals, 5 silver, 8 bronze, and they came third overall in the total medals race. And majority of people really loved this, and it brought a lot of positivity. Then how did the perception of the country change? A lot of people viewed Japan as really bad, and they really thought Japan wasn't this good place, or really wasn't a place that anyone wanted to be at. And the whole world viewed Japan differently. But then after the games, it completely changed. So the 1964 Olympics basically marked a new transformation for Japan, from a defeated nation to a prosperous democracy. As Japan flourished after the events, a lot of people recognized Japan for a leap forward, and they celebrated with Japan for their a lot of awards they won. And yeah, it only happened in 20 years as well, when they leaped forward to get a lot better from being kind of down in the dumps in the war. Now they're doing a lot better, winning gold medals. We want to be like that. Next thing, how it brought back the pride to the country. So this event single-handedly opened new doors and opportunities for Japan. This event gave those classical symbols that Japan basically represented, was moral simplicity, a lot of good things. It just basically reshined those and brought back a lot of good memories and things like that. Also, this event changed the feel around the country. It made it from this wartime association to now it's a present-day symbol of peace. And it was very possible due to the games, because the spotlight that came from the games, and people wanted to rise up in shows, and which Japan actually did, and they showed out, and that's how they become a lot better. some technological advances that are generated from the Olympics. The bullet train, it was introduced, I think, the day of it or a couple of days before the Olympics actually started. And a lot of people were just fascinated by it. And it basically, it brought a new idea. And the speed of it is 320 kilometers, and it can fill roughly 1,300 people. And another thing was also the broadcast. It was broadcasted in color and in satellite, and you didn't have to buy any of the tapes over, like I said before. So another thing, and now Japan will hold the 2020 Olympics, and a lot of people are raising questions saying, will Japan reinvent themselves like they did before? And for my central message, Japan clearly illustrated how a sporting event on a national scale can bring a country together and reinvent themselves. Japan came a long way from where they started before this Summer Olympics. Japan is now a living dream of most societies.